Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to do something really interesting. We're diving deep into how a country, from the ground up, builds its digital future. Specifically, we're taking a look inside Pakistan's digital engine.
So, how does a nation actually build its digital future? I mean, that's a huge question, right? Every government around the world is wrestling with it. For Pakistan, a big piece of that puzzle is found in one single key government ministry. And that's exactly what we're going to unpack today: the vision, the structure, and the strategy that's powering the whole transformation.
All right, let's kick things off with the big picture. What exactly is this Ministry of Information Technology and Telecommunication, or MIOTT for short? And what are they really trying to do? What's their core mission? So you can think of MoITT as the government's central command center for, well, pretty much all things digital. But here's the key thing. Their job isn't just to manage the IT and telecom sectors that are already there. No, it's about actively using them as a powerful engine for the country's economic growth. It's like they're the chief architect, drawing up the blueprints for Pakistan's entire digital future.
And this quote from the federal minister, wow, it just perfectly captures that ambition, doesn't it? This isn't just about making some upgrades at home. It's a really bold declaration that they want to put Pakistan on the global map as a serious competitive hub for technology. Okay, so you've got this huge, bold vision, but how do you actually make it happen? How do you structure a ministry to turn that vision into reality? Well, you're going to need a seriously powerful engine to drive that kind of ambition. So let's pop the hood and take a look at the key organizations that are making this whole thing run.
And what's so cool about this is that it's not just a random collection of departments. It's designed to work like a complete ecosystem. You've got the PTA, right? They're like the referee, setting the rules of the game for the telecom sector. Then you have your offensive line, like the PSEB, whose whole job is to boost software exports and bring in cash. Meanwhile, you've got Ignite acting like the R&D lab, funding the next big ideas. And this is so important. You have the Universal Service Fund, making sure no one gets left behind by pushing connectivity into rural and underserved areas. It's a really smart, multi-pronged attack designed to cover all the bases.
Okay, so we've got the vision, we've got the structure. But let's be real. A digital economy doesn't run on its own. It runs on people. And that brings us to maybe the most crucial piece of the puzzle: human capital. So let's see how MoITT is actually building the talent pool needed for this massive transformation.
And this is where that big, high-level strategy really hits the pavement and becomes real. I mean, these programs are absolutely vital. You've got things like DigiSkills, which is a direct investment in Pakistan's massive freelance community, one of the biggest in the world, by the way. Then you've got the National Incubation Centers and the Startup Fund, which are basically creating a safe, supportive greenhouse to grow the next generation of tech companies, from tiny seeds into big players. Now, becoming a global IT hub, you just can't do that in a vacuum, right? You have to connect with the rest of the world. So let's shift gears and look at the momentum MoITT's building by forging these crucial international partnerships. Look, if you want to be a global player, you've got to be on the same page as the giants. So when MoA teams up with a company like Meta, it's not just a photo op meeting. They're actively working to align their own domestic policies on really tricky stuff like digital safety and user protection with global standards. That's an absolutely critical step if you want to plug into the global digital economy seamlessly. And it's not just about big tech companies either. We're talking government-to-government collaboration, working with the U.S. delegation on skill development. That's a super strategic move. It's all about bringing in that world-class expertise and know-how to, supercharge that local talent pipeline we were just talking about. And this right here really drives home the economic focus. These are not just friendly diplomatic chats. We're talking high-level meetings with major global investors, the Qatar Development Bank, big corporations like Huawei and Vion. The goal is clear: drive foreign investment and build real, solid business-to-business partnerships. So you've got all this incredible activity happening, building skills, forging partnerships, but it all needs a solid framework to hold it together and make it last. So let's take a look at the actual policies MoITT is putting in place, creating that clear blueprint for what comes next. And these are two huge policy wins. First, you have the Digital Nation Bill. Think of that as the foundation of the whole house. It creates the official legal framework for the entire digital ecosystem. And then to add a dedicated national AI policy right on top of that, that shows they're really thinking ahead. They're not just building for today. They're laying the groundwork for the next massive wave of technology. And you know what? They're clearly not stopping there.
They're already working on new draft policies for some seriously complex stuff, like semiconductors. I mean, those are the literal building blocks of all modern tech. Plus, they're looking at how to better support that massive freelance workforce. It just goes to show they're always looking ahead, trying to anticipate and build for the next digital frontier.
So when you step back and look at the whole picture, what we've seen is this really comprehensive, multi-layered strategy in action. You've got the vision, the structure, the talent development, the global partnerships. All the essential pieces are being put into place. That digital engine is being built piece by piece right before our eyes. And that leaves us with one final, really fascinating question to think about.